Arguably the most famous personality in the drag world, RuPaul has made a fantastic career as a TV producer, host, singer, and songwriter. The 60-year-old has always been proudly different, believing that for any person, only the sky is the limit. Vibrant, challenge-prone, and risky, he has also proved that being different often comes alongside controversy, and sometimes even scandals. Today, we talk about the real-life story of absolutely admirable yet controversial RuPaul. But before we continue, subscribe to Rumour Juice YouTube channel for more exciting celebrity stories you've never heard before. Even before he became the pop culture legend, you could tell this little boy had something big ahead of him. Why so, you might ask? Well, it all started even before he was born. A psychic told his mother that it's a boy and that he is going to be famous. So I grew up knowing that. Either it was the mysterious prediction or the strong belief that Ru lived with, he seemed to always know he was destined for fame and success. The kid's mom played an important role in teaching her children acceptance and unconditional love. He told Vogue, "There was no shade to me playing in makeup, wearing my sister's clothes, doing whatever I wanted to do. I never had to come out because I was never in." When Ru was just 5 years old, his parents got divorced, following which his mother, Toni, fell into a depression.
This is what I do, is that when I performed for her when I was a kid, I could do anything in the living room. I could do anything. It was always great. No matter how terrible I was, it was always great.
But even despite the hard time she was having, this woman found strength to keep her fiery spirit and retain her sense of humor. Maybe this is where RuPaul's iconic sense of humor really comes from. He explained to contemporary Black biography, "At 5 years old, I realized I was a superstar trapped in a 5-year-old's body, and I had to do something about that." Ru's love for freedom apparently didn't match well with having to attend school on a regular basis. So, he was kicked out of high school in the 11th grade due to persistent truancy. He later attended another school near Atlanta, Georgia, where he'd moved in with his sister, Renetta, to study the performing arts.
I was out here living with my younger sister, sleeping on her couch with not a nickel to my name.
But if you think that one ended in graduation, you are so wrong. Ru's own music career officially started in the early 80s with his band called Wee Wee Pole. They performed in various celebrity clubs. Ru could do pretty much everything: solo singing, bar dancing, backup signing. Soon he recorded his first album called Sex Freak, which he would later regret. After moving to New York and living in the meatpacking district, RuPaul was surviving on free popcorn from the Film Forum. And that's when he was featured as a dancer in Love Shack, and when he released the single Supermodel, which ended up reaching 45 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1993. At the time, there was literally no one like him in mainstream culture.
I am the queen of drag!
RuPaul's goal was not to shock, but to challenge. At the same time, he started building his career on TV and quickly landed his own talk show called The RuPaul Show, interviewing celebrity guests and musical acts. So, by the time he came up with the idea of the competition series RuPaul's Drag Race, Ru had all it took to impress the audience. He sold the show in his very first pitch meeting. VH1 bought the show right off the bat, and it has been on air since 2009. Over a decade already. Can you believe it? By the way, not many know that RuPaul was obsessed with hot rods and drag racing when he was younger. He still keeps tweeting the pictures of classic dream cars from time to time.
I love cars. In fact, I've driven cross-country in this great United States of America about 50 times, back and forth.
Wow!
Another sensational and barrier-breaking thing involving RuPaul occurred in the mid-90s when he became the first drag queen to land a major cosmetics campaign. It was a contract with MAC Cosmetics that made him the first headliner of their Viva Glam line of lipsticks, with 100% of the proceeds going to the MAC AIDS Fund. MAC co-founder Frank Toscan explained that at the time, they didn't want to employ standards and tactics used by other beauty brands, considering them to be limiting rather than liberating. Speaking about the collaboration with RuPaul, Toscan said, "People thought we were absolutely crazy, at a time when other brands were using Elizabeth Hurley and Isabella Rossellini." He added that some conservative departments even refused to display the campaign featuring RuPaul as they worried about their image. Well, they shouldn't have. The campaign was a huge success and gave a good wake-up call for the whole industry. And for RuPaul, it would be just one of his numerous achievements. In 2017, the star host was included in Time magazine's list of the 100 most influential people on the planet. And next year, RuPaul made history as the first drag queen to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. To which Ru joked that he deserved a star 3 times the size of a normal one. Was it a joke, though? In his acceptance speech, he characterized receiving a star as the most important moment in his professional career. However, something controversial also happened in 2018, and in the center of that controversy was RuPaul and his remarks. When asked to comment on whether transgender women can compete on RuPaul's Drag Race, he said he would probably not let trans women compete on his TV show. You can identify as a woman and say you're transitioning, but it changes once you start changing your body. It takes on a different thing. It changes the whole concept of what we're doing. RuPaul faced serious backlash from the trans community over his hurtful comments, following which he even issued one of his rare apologies. He expressed regret over the pain he caused. It was not his first clash with the trans community, though. In 2012, RuPaul defended his right to use the word tranny, denying its derogatory connotation. Quote, "I love the word tranny." He added that people who insist on banning the word are fringe people who are looking for storylines to strengthen their identity as victims. A couple years later, there was another incident with the trans community, regarding yet one more term many people consider a slur in the name of fun used during RuPaul's Drag Race. The host was annoyed by the negativity his wording caused, and once again reinstated his idea. If you are trigger-happy and you're looking for a reason to reinforce your own victimhood, you'll look for anything that will reinforce that. So, it would be fair to say that RuPaul has always felt free to express himself the way he felt, and share his opinion on various issues. It is one of the things that has led him to success, and that has caused a serious stir on numerous occasions. This is the RuPaul we see in public, but as far as his private life is concerned, the drag star is notoriously tight-lipped about it. He has known his husband, George LaBar, since 1994, but the two married only in 2017. And guess what? According to RuPaul, George doesn't care about show business at all. He's often away from Hollywood working on his ranch in Wyoming, which is why he is not usually with RuPaul for the red carpet events. But the two definitely have an extremely beautiful and unconventional relationship formula, which they developed for their couple. RuPaul has always been candid about being in an open marriage with LaBar. "I wouldn't want to put restraints on the person I love most on this planet. Listen, if you get something that you cannot resist and that is going to make you happy, go for it." He added that for them, it is all about trust and freedom, and it works. According to the drag star, he loves LaBar like no one else on this planet, and he is sure that he is loved back.
He is devoted to me, I'm devoted to him, and that's the end of the story. You know what I mean?
In this marriage, both partners are nonconformists who refuse to follow someone else's rules just because that someone might label their relationship as controversial. And this is basically the story of RuPaul's entire life. Being one of the most famous performers and TV personalities alive, RuPaul has built a net worth estimated at $60 million. The past several years have been particularly good for the world top drag queen. In 2018, RuPaul sold a home that he had previously purchased for $2.5 million for twice its original value. Soon, he bought a huge mansion in Beverly Hills for $13.7 million. Meanwhile, RuPaul has no intention to rest on his laurels, even though he could with all the money he's earned. Drag Race Season 13 is set to premiere on New Year's Day. The new season is going to be with a jaw-dropping twist, which is taking the competition to a whole new level. The new crop queens will immediately be fighting for their lives in a 6-way lip sync. And that's still not all as far as premieres are concerned. The first episode of the highly anticipated RuPaul's Drag Race UK is set to air on January 14th. It looks like, thanks to RuPaul, 2021 will be the year of queens. And we are looking forward to it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.
As always, we are eager to see your opinion in the comment section below. And do tell us which topic we should cover next. Behind the scenes dramas of your favorite shows? Why did this seemingly perfect couple break up? How come this Hollywood hottie is still alone? Who holds the title of the most fan-friendly celebrity? Make your voice heard, and we at Rumour Juice will make sure you are never bored. Subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to tell your friends how cool we are.